Good morning. I didn't even know we were already live because I had an alert. Hi guys, it's me again. Okay, so this is a take 2 video. I did go live yesterday and explain my 3-week food experiment and the benefits that I'm seeing so far. But we got kind of some of my friends on here. We were talking and everything like that. But I did it from my computer, and for some reason it didn't save the video, so nobody could come back and watch it or even share it with anybody. So I decided I have this short amount of time right now before our Friday, or free Friday we call it, gets going with my kids and stuff like that. So we may have a couple of cute little visitors during this live video, unlike last time when they were at their aunt's, but that's okay, right? Who doesn't like seeing them? Or as the dog comes in. But anyways, so I wanted to go back on live, and then I also found another really great benefit to what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks this morning, and I was like, well, maybe that's why I needed to do this again, so I could share that added benefit. So anyways, I'm Teresa Hansen, and what I want to say before I get into, again, about this 3-week experiment, and it's called Intermittent Fasting. I am not a professional nutritionist or dietitian, or really have any background or training in any of this stuff. I'm just a mom who is in an amazing environment, an amazing community of other people who are experts or have a lot more training in this area than I do. And then I get to hear what they're doing and the benefits, and then I get to go do my own research to see if it works for me. And in the last 3 weeks, I can say that it really has. And I have my notes here because I don't want to go too long over here. One of the things, the reason I wanted to try intermittent fasting is for about a year, I've been pretty much kind of stuck in my progress. And I was finding that to see the results that I wanted to see in the mirror and fit into the clothes the way that I wanted to fit, that made me happy, I had to be super strict with my diet, with my eating. It seems like, I wasn't getting any any giveaway or any leeway into my eating. If I had a day of treats, and we should be able to have, some fun and make things happy for us, have things that make us happy. I was seeing you do one step forward and then you have a good fun weekend and it'd be 10 steps back. And it had never done that. That had never happened really to me. I was able to, live an 80-20 life when it came down to nutrition and to food, and still feel happy about the way I felt, my energy levels, the way that I looked in the mirror, things that made me happy. But if I wanted, it came over the last year that if I wanted to feel good in my clothes, or feel good about the way I looked when I saw myself in the mirror, or even that time of the month when I would have my period without being all crazy hormonal, emotional, and stuff like that, I needed to have my diet to be 100% on point. And that part didn't make me happy. I like to indulge in a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of ice cream and wine and cocktails. That does make me happy, and I'm all about doing things that make me happy. So it was I had to make this decision. Hey Shannon, good morning girl. I had to make this decision of being completely and utterly happy with the way my clothes fit, the way I looked in the mirror, and my energy levels, and not having too many crazy time of the month symptoms, or be extremely unhappy with my food, or vice versa. And so I kind of gave up the whole some of the clothes didn't fit. Oh well, I'm almost 40. I have 2 kids. Maybe I shouldn't be a size 3. Give up that one. Because I enjoy this. So. That's how the whole last year had been. And so I would go up and down, and I would do deep, the 3-day refresh, and I'd get back to where I was, but then everything would come back. It was like a cycle, going like this. Well, when I got into the Shift Shop test group, being really close involved with a lot of amazing people, especially some really amazing women, that started talking about intermittent fasting. And as I started kind of listening and understanding, kind of getting a over top view of what intermittent fasting was, I was like, wait a minute, it's like a glorified not eat breakfast diet. Is this really even sustainable? Is this healthy? These are people that I ultimately respect 100%, but I was like, wait a minute, what are you guys all doing? Is this another fad diet? You just skip breakfast. And then, it really messed with my mind having that concept of not eating breakfast, because that's what I've been told so long ago when I first started my journey, right? That you need to break your fast, within an hour that you're waking up, or, after your workout to get the metabolism going. And, some of the women that have been joining my challenge group, we would talk about how, their days of eating. And one of the things that they would do is that they wouldn't eat breakfast. And I'm like, oh no, we got to change that, because you have to eat breakfast. And then the thing was, it's like they would change that habit and they would drink, because they were not used to eating breakfast. So we start them off with Shakeology for breakfast, and build them up to get that habit going. And they would start losing weight. So I'm like, wait a minute, how is this really legit, right? Well, there's a lot more to it other than just not eating breakfast, See, the thing is, a lot of times when some of us don't eat breakfast, by the time we get to have our first meal, we are so hungry that we eat anything that we can get our hands on, which will not, most time might not be healthy, something easy, fast food. And then we end up eating all day long, all the way to the night before we go to bed. So it wasn't so much that I was skipping the breakfast part that was, holding back, feeling healthy and losing weight and all that stuff. It was what you ate when you first broke that fast and how long you ate after that. So then I started going, okay. So I started doing my own research. And like I said, again, this is called intermittent fasting that I've been doing for the last 3 weeks. I highly recommend that you guys take that and go to Google and type it in and start reading some stuff and figure out for yourself if this is something for you, because not every way of eating is for every single person. And that was something that I had to learn, because there's that other golden rule, don't eat 3 hours before you go to bed. But then I was told, oh, it doesn't matter what time of day you eat. All it matters is the calories that you eat and the quality of the calories. It doesn't matter what time you eat. Well, I found out really, really quick that the time that I finished my last meal versus the time I went to bed really did matter. When I went off what somebody else said that they could do with their body type, it did not work for me. So that was my first clue a while ago, that just because it works for somebody doesn't always mean it's going to work for you. You have to experiment to see what works for you to really know, the best effect for you that makes you happy. Because if you're happy, then you can conquer everything. So, so it was like all these different philosophies. So I started researching and started looking into it and realizing that there's different ways to do intermittent fasting. And the one that I decided to choose is because I was seeing what these other ladies that were doing it that I respect, and I was seeing the results of them doing this, is called the 8-16 or the 16-8, whatever however way you want to do it. So basically what it is that you have 8 hours that you eat. And then the 16 hours is when you fast, you don't eat. So you pick 8 consecutive hours in the day, whatever fits your schedule, to eating. But this is not like a magic pill. There is a byproduct of losing weight. But what I started researching is that there's so many other incredible benefits to this intermittent fasting that has nothing to do with the number on that scale or the way your pants feel. I started researching, and I'm saying you guys go look it up, but I mean cell generation, how much your pancreas is excreting stuff, so it helps with like prevention of diabetes. Not curing anything, you guys, but it does help with prevention. Also preventing there's some studies saying about Alzheimer's and the way your brain function and having more clarity. You're turning your body into a fat burning machine instead of a sugar burning machine. And that also comes down to what you're eating within those 8 hours, right? So I've been doing this for 3 weeks, and I have noticed I felt way more freedom with what I'm eating, still seeing the results that I want to see, maintaining the results that I received from the Shift Shop, even though I've taken a little break from the workouts and the meal plans and stuff like that, but I'm still maintaining. And as if you guys have ever, lost a lot of weight or, been on a journey, once it's hard to get to your goal, but it's even harder to keep it because you kind of get relaxed and you do this and you do that. So, I've done this for 3 weeks. This is like 3 weeks that I've done it. And then the first couple of days, it was hard. I messed up, I think on day 2, and I went back to eating a longer period and stuff like that. But, I've enjoyed my weekends. I've had Friday night pizza with the family. I've had a few cocktails by the pool on the weekends. And when come Monday morning, I'm not going overboard either, you guys, like cheeseburgers, pizzas, and, tons of sugary stuff. I've really still limited the sugar, which is the very most important part. So the less sugar that you have, you start having your body turn into a fat burning machine instead of a sugar burning machine, which helps you stay feel fuller longer, right? So like I said, it's not just not eating or, and fasting or whatever. There is, a little bit of a technique to it of what you're eating during those 8 hours. So I have my notes because I know I totally went, a kind of askew on what I was doing. But so the types of foods that I am eating within those 8 hours I'm still following my container plan that, that we have with Beachbody, with all the different containers. I'm not in my kitchen, so I don't have them, but I definitely can give you more information on that. So I still watch my portions. I'm still eating the same amount of calories within the 8 hours. I'm just eating it in a short amount of time. So I have bigger meals, less frequent and bigger meals within those 8 hours. So I'm eating probably between 3 to 4 meals a day. So I'm having my meal 1 where I break my fast. I'm having a couple hours later meal 2. If I'm hungry, then I'll have a snack, and then I have dinner, and then I'm done eating. And so this is, just to give you a rundown, this is what my schedule looks like. I wake up in the morning, I have my Energize, and then I've been putting some BCAAs in my Energize because I have had to give up a couple things, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. I have that, and I have a what they called a fasted cardio workout. People, I've never known what that was. I've been doing a fasted cardio workout since I started my journey 8 years ago, and now there's a name for it. So that wasn't nothing new for me. And then I work out, and after my workout, what I've been doing is having what is called a bulletproof coffee. So that is helping me get some healthy fats and some energy with the caffeine to help me sustain the few hours I have until I have my first meal. So that's usually about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm having my bulletproof coffee, and bulletproof coffee is some quality coffee, black coffee that you brew. I put a tablespoon of MTC oil, which is like a very clean coconut oil, type of coconut oil, and a tablespoon of ghee, which is a very clean, non-dairy version of butter. This is all things, definitely look this stuff up. I put it in the coffee, I put it in my blender so it gives it that really creamy, frothy kind of thing. And let me tell you guys, I am not a coffee drinker. I've never liked coffee. I like this. I also put like little drops of vanilla stevia in there just to kind of give it a little bit of a sweet taste, but no calories on that. And that's what I have. And that takes me all the way to about between 12 and 1. And that's when I have my first meal. And my first meal has been consisting of a huge ass salad, because one of the things that I've been researching and hearing some of these ladies talk about is having a lot of vegetables to break your fast, to having that first meal. First of all, vegetables make you feel fuller without having to eat that much, and it's not as many calories, but there's so many other benefits, to vegetables, all your vitamins and nutrients that you need. So I have probably about 2 to 3 green fixed portion containers, green, of some sort of salad and vegetables. So I have I get baby greens, and I have that, and then I put I can put some mushrooms or cucumbers or celery or tomatoes. I put that all in my salad, and then I have a lean protein. So some shredded chicken or baked chicken or ground turkey. Usually it's whatever meat we had the night before for dinner. I put that in there, or I do prepping where I'll get, crock pot some chicken and shred it, or bake a couple chicken tenders. I'll put that on top of, that's my lean protein for my salad. I get those holy guacamole things. They're like pre-made guacamole, and I put that on top for a healthy fat. And then sometimes I put a little oil-based dressing, and sometimes I just put some salsa, depending on what kind of meat I'm having in there. And so I use that, and that's what I have for my first meal. And oh my God, I'm gonna tell you guys, I don't know, it's because it's so long, 16 hours of not eating, but that first salad is amazing. So I eat that, and then a couple of hours later, I'll make my Shakeology. And I will have, whatever flavor. My flavors right now are normal chocolate and vegan vanilla. Those are my 2 top favorites. I put about 2 handfuls of spinach in my Shakeology so I can get more of my vegetables in. And I've been introduced to coconut butter. There's this birthday vanilla cake coconut butter. It is to die for. I put that in there. Sometimes I put fruit. Sometimes I don't. Depends on my fruit is usually some berries or grapes or something like that, whatever we have for the kids. But most of the time it's just the healthy fat, which will either be peanut butter or that coconut butter, my spinach, and my Shakeology. And that's what I drink, and that's like my, if you want to consider it, my lunch, my meal two. And then if I have some time before we're gonna have dinner, I will have a snack where I'll get some, again, some more lean protein, some lots of vegetables, usually like some celery sticks and some carrots, and maybe some hummus, or maybe some another thing of that holy guacamole. I really love the holy guacamole, and it comes like a little individual packet, so you don't have to run out of my avocados always go bad on me and I waste money. So I like the holy guacamole. And I'll have that to dip or whatever. And I get also deli chicken slices, and I'll have that too. So I'm having healthy fats, healthy lean protein, and vegetables. If you notice, there's a theme here. Lots of vegetables. Oh, boiled eggs too. I'll use I found that doing the Instant Pot with boiled eggs is thebomb.com. So if you have an Instant Pot, do your boiled eggs in there. Do my boiled eggs first, that. And then for dinner, we will have, again, another lean protein, some more vegetables. I have been loving that in the frozen department, they have steamer bags of cauliflower rice, and all these different cauliflower and broccoli mixtures. And so when they go on sale, I go buy those. So I've been having that and another vegetable. The kids don't like cauliflower, so I make another vegetable for them. Some chicken, some fish. I'll make tacos. And I will add like some. And at the end, I've been hearing from my research that I found and listening to some of my ladies, having your carb at your end of the meal, your last meal of the day, helps sustain you. You know what I mean, for the next 16-hour fast that you have. So I have, some beans or some sweet potatoes. I try to stay away, even regular potatoes. I try to stay away from really starchy carbs. I haven't really had much bread. I don't miss it, or wraps. So it's been more of like edamame, or, some rice. That's been really the carbs I have, but I really haven't, I've been doing the shift shop and learning that I really don't need that many carbs to have energy. Having the healthy fats is what's really been amazing for me. So then my last thing that I ever eat is 8 o'clock at night. And sometimes if I still have time after dinner, I'll have a couple spoons of like that 360 ice cream. Just a couple, just a little bit, nothing crazy. But at 8 o'clock, I am done eating. I do not eat anything anymore. And having that rule really helped me stop with late night cravings, because I was even thinking I was doing healthy by having like a Shakeology pudding or whatever, which is still better than a chocolate chip cookie, but you're not giving your body enough time to rest and burn and metabolize a lot of things, and making your pancreas work overtime. So at 8 o'clock, this is, like I said, this is a lot of these health benefits to this intermittent fasting. I don't eat. I stop eating after 8 o'clock, and I don't eat again anything like a real meal again to 12. So I go from, my 8 hours of eatings from 12 to 8, and that works for me because we don't have dinner till about 6:37 from my family. If this is something that you want to try, you put those 8 hours in your day, however day that you want it to work out for your day. And so that's my day, and it has been working, you guys. I'm losing not so much the weight, the pounds aren't changing so much, but I can feel it in my clothes. If you saw my post the last 2 days, these are shorts and pants that are size 3 that I just kind of gave up. That it's not that important to me that I have to be super strict with my eating 24/7. And to fit in these clothes, that's fine. But now I'm like, I get to have my cake and eat it too, pretty much. And then in the weekends, I'm having a good time. I'm not feeling so restricted. I still, don't eat breakfast till, my first meal till late in the day. And I'm, sticking as much as I can with this intermittent fasting technique, and I'm still enjoying a glass of wine or 2 or 3 maybe, and some margaritas and stuff like that. But I'm living life. I'm being happy, and I do things to make me happy. I work out in the mornings to be happy because it makes me feel good. And like I said, it's just working for me. And the thing that I found out today is that when I went live yesterday, I didn't know about, is my time of the month when it comes, I get very hormonal. But the funny thing is like, I don't really realize why I'm getting so hormonal or so short-tempered or whatever till like later on when my period shows. I'm like, oh, that's why I was being kind of a bitch the other day. That makes sense. As I know that as I eat better, I don't get a lot of like aches and pains with my lower back, and the like nonstop eating that I get. And the last week, I know I haven't been any more extra bitchy than I normally am. Just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like my temper has been even keel. I haven't had any lower back aches and pains. I haven't been trying to eat everything in the house. And then this morning, Miss Aunt Flo showed up. And I had no idea, like all of those symptoms. And that was one of the things that I did research and I saw when I, was doing my Google homework, is that intermittent fasting and having a higher fat diet really helps with your hormones. And so you don't get all that craziness happening in your time of the month. Like I didn't have anything like to the extreme. I know there's a lot of women out there that have extreme types of PMS symptoms. I'm not saying this is a cure, but for me who was kind of like borderline, like it was the day or two before and it was like a crazy, and then, it makes sense. There she is. She came to visit me kind of thing. I didn't even know. And it was like, so some of the stuff that I have been reading about the benefits of intermittent fasting and having a lot of healthy fats with your brain, your hormones, cell regeneration, all that stuff, like it's coming true. So like I said, if you guys have any kind of health problems or any medical stuff, I definitely think that check with your doctor, check with the health professional before you do any kind of fasting or anything, just to be on the safe side. Go do some searching to figure out that it's going to work for you. I really am following with the Shift Shop, going a little bit more of, less starchy carbs. I've been having a lot more healthy protein. One of the things though, that comes to mindset, and then I'm going to let you guys go because I'm pretty sure I've been on here way too long. I'm seeing my numbers drop of people leaving me, is one of the things that's mindset is don't focus on the things that you have to give up. Focus on the things that you're gaining, right? When you're trying to start a new journey. One of the things with me having, doing this intermittent fasting and not having anything really to eat till noon meant I had to give up two of my really most favorite things in the world when it comes to working out, and that was my hydrate and my recover. I love both of those, you guys. Like I loved my hydrate when I'm working out because it just kind of gave that water a little extra. I mean, it's supposed to help you with like, it's kind of like a Gatorade, gives you your electrolytes and stuff like that while you're working out and you're sweating so much. I just love the taste of it. So I used to like to drink it. And my Recover, which is our Beachbody Performance post-workout drink, is amazing. It tastes like a Wendy's Frosty. And I liked it. I really enjoyed drinking that after I worked out. It was like my treat for working out in the morning. But since doing the intermittent fasting, I can't have that because that means I was going to break my fast at 7 o'clock in the morning. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 1, 2, 3. That meant I was going to have my last meal at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, hell no, that wasn't going to work. Not when you're a mom, you have 2 kids and you have to cook dinner and that's not going to happen for me. So I had to give up those 2 things, which really made me sad because I love them. But, I decided just to give this experiment a try to see if it's worth, giving up these things. Now, I did notice that because I started this 3-week experiment my last week in the Shift Shop, I was getting sore. Like the whole reason you drink Recover, for me, I was drinking it because it tasted good, really. But, you drink Recover, so it helps with the soreness and your muscles, recover and stuff like that. Not drinking it after a week, I was feeling it. After it got out of my system, I was feeling being sore and not being able to bounce back from my workouts very much. So I decided to add, from doing more research, seeing, I added another supplement to my Energize, which helps with soreness and muscle recovery and stuff like that. So those are 2 things that I had to give up, which makes me sad, but I'm liking the effects of what I'm having now. The supplement that I'm adding to my Energize isn't as effective with the muscle soreness as Recover was, but it's doing its job. And I'm keeping it so if I ever work out later in the day, and that's the thing, I can't work out later in the day. My workouts have to be done in the morning. That's just the way my life is scheduled, and that's the way I want to keep it. So that's why I couldn't reschedule, remove things around. Like I have to work out in the morning, so that means I have to give up those things. It's okay. So that has been my 3-week experiment. And I'm saying I have been able to live an 80-20 life and feel good and be happy, love the way I look in the mirror, love that I'm fitting into clothes that I haven't fit before. I'm eating healthy. Oops. And there goes my phone. it's just been working for me. So I do highly suggest that you research it. If you have any questions, you can send me a message and I will answer what I know. I'm not an expert in this. I'm still learning this myself, but I definitely would share whatever I can with you. I'm still using my containers to make sure that my portions are correct. I'm eating a lot of veggies, healthy fats, lean proteins, minimal carbs, no starchy carbs. That is really what my diet, I hate to say diet, has consists of. And this is, for me, is something that I can live. Oh, last benefit before I go. We are never late to things in the morning anymore, because I'm not trying to be so stressed out about having to eat something for breakfast before we head out the door and not eating until my kids have lunch. It has made our mornings less stressful. Who does not love less stress? And on the weekends, it makes it even easier too, because we get up a little bit later, kind of more relaxed, blah, blah, blah. And then, by the time we get out running errands, it's okay if I don't eat, first thing in the morning and stress out that I didn't have something. So it has really worked well for my lifestyle. And I am loving the results of how I look and how I feel, and I'm awake and I'm alert. And my period came today and it had no symptoms to let me know that it was coming. And that's awesome. I love not having to be such a bitch a couple days before my period, or feeling I'm not bloated. I'm more alert. I'm not tired, lethargic. It's been amazing. So definitely look into it. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Stephanie, for coming on. Hopefully this stays on my page. Have a great time. Have a great Friday. It's Flex Friday. Let's see those muscles. See? Muscles. Food is everything. Food is everything. So I talk to you guys later. Have a great Friday. Let me see those muscles. Flex Friday.